Okay, and then as we are going to be talking about this new moon in Aquarius, we really want to be prepared for the zing zing, because this is the zing zing. We are getting a huge zing of fresh new energy at the Aquarius new moon. The drawback is that it's conjunct Saturn, which is the great restrictor, but it's really asking us to be disciplined in this new energy that wants to come through. It's asking us to put these energies to work for ourselves and to get organized. So while it can feel restrictive with the new moon being conjunct Saturn, it's ultimately for our benefit. Now, the other issue with this new moon that I'll talk about is that it is with so many planets under the ruler of Saturn. So not only is this new moon conjunct Saturn, the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. Now, if you're into modern astrology like me, I kind of like to merge both. It definitely has some Uranian energy, and Uranus is also very active at this new moon. Uranus breaks things up, and Saturn restricts us to discipline into what's here and what's meant to be here. So it's a very interesting combination. Then we also have so many planets in Capricorn, which is the modern ruler of Capricorn and the traditional ruler of Capricorn, Saturn. So Mars, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, and Juno. And Mercury's still retrograde for this new moon. Thankfully, Venus will have gone direct before this new moon comes. But we still have Mercury retrograde, and we still have Venus in Capricorn alongside Mars freshly in Capricorn, Juno, and Pluto. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. He's been here for a long time. He's going to be here for a couple more years. And he's really asking us to do the most nitty-gritty, nasty work that's going to empower us. We don't get to our power from all light and love and all the things. We have to go down into the underworld and find and unearth all the things that keep us from being empowered in our life. And so that's the subconscious mind, that's the sabotage work, all the stuff that I do in my coaching, which is very helpful this time because we are in such a big transitionary period. But all in all, this new moon is really asking us to confront any areas where we've been not disciplined, where we've been procrastinating, and it asks us, why? It asks us, what's below the surface there? What are your fears? Where do you feel like you're not worthy enough? What's coming up that's making you feel like you can't shine in your community? Because Aquarius is the community, and Aquarius is freedom, and Aquarius is breaking the rules and breaking out of the box. And in order to do that, we have to confront all the pieces within, because we live in a reflective universe. So if we're feeling oppressed, or we're feeling like we can't be free, or we're feeling like we can't fully be ourselves, we have to go in and look at where within ourselves we're co-signing that bullshit, where we're aligning ourselves to those mistruths, where we're believing that we're not, our work isn't wanted, or our energy isn't wanted, or people don't like what we have to say. That's all that's all internal. And we bring it to the external, right? We bring it through the reflective universe. We bring it to the external. We create situations aligning us to that belief. So we have to go in and do the deeper belief work at this time in order to know our worth and to know our value. So as we're moving to this lunar new year, we're moving in from the year of the ox into the year of the tiger. I am not a Chinese astrologer, nor do I practice Vedic astrology. The Lunar New Year aligns with Vedic astrology's belief of where Jupiter is. And in that belief system, Jupiter in Aquarius aligns with the year of the tiger. So if you were born with Jupiter in Aquarius, this is your year. This is your kind of Jupiter alignment to the Chinese New Year, which means that it's about breaking out of the box, being courageous, being brave, being strong, growing outside of your comfort zone. And so we're in this year, we're launching into this year at February 1st, 2022. And because of that, we want to really look at where we're afraid to break out of the box, where we're holding ourselves back, and what's there? What's the nugget? What are you thinking is going to happen if you do that? Because ultimately, if we can confront that, we can see that we're living already in that place. This square to Uranus, which is the modern ruler of Aquarius, and we have this conjunction to Saturn, which is the traditional ruler of Aquarius. So it's like very Aquarian, very like push-pull energy. And you'll see this with people who have a lot of Aquarian energy. They believe in freedom. They believe of thinking outside of the box, but there's almost this internal structure or like way of thinking that like everyone else deserves that, but it's hard for them to embody that. And this is where we go into like Aquarius rules the head and the disconnect of Aquarian being able to connect to the heart, which is the polarity of Aquarius is Leo, and Leo is so heart-centered, not always in the head. I'm a Leo, so I can say that. So Leo is very heart-centered in the heart and heart-led and courageous in that way, but Aquarius is very intellectually centered and very smart and calculated with the way that they're thinking, but they often have a disconnect in their heart and their heart energy. And this is not a negative thing because it allows them a lot of freedom in a lot of ways. But the work that we need to do at this new moon, where we're having Venus just launching direct at the time, is the heart work, the heart-centered work, the desire work, what you want, what you desire in your relationships, what you desire in your community, what you desire in friendship, what you desire in co-creations with work. Like, what is the world that we want to see? What is the world that we want to feel? It's obviously not what we're seeing right now. And so to get into that work, we have to connect to our heart. And that can be really difficult at this time because there's a lot of pressure, all the planets in Capricorn, and Saturn conjunct this new moon and Uranus squaring it. So the deep work of the heart is really important at this time. Yes, I work with a lot of Aquariuses because I'm the polarity. I'm Leo, and Aquariuses help me and I help Aquariuses. It's a very co-creative energy because there's so much creativity there with that polarity of Leo and Aquarius. And we will see the Leo full moon. If you don't already have my planetary planner, it goes over each new and full moon, so you can get that. There's the digital version in my profile link, and there's also the paper planner, which I only ship in the US, but you can get it on like Amazon and Walmart and some other places that I was surprised to see that are carrying it. Okay, but the full moon in Leo is on February 16th. So we are in this cycle of freedom, of creativity, and I'm sure you're feeling it. There's just a lot of zing of this new energy, but it's asking for us to get disciplined in it. And this is where we can really bring in the talents of Capricorn and Aquarian, of getting disciplined, planning, and intellectualizing what needs to happen. But we can't disconnect to the heart. If we do, we're not going to be successful. So overall, we're looking at this new moon happening on January 31st in 12 degrees of Aquarius. You want to look at your own natal chart and look at 12 degrees of Aquarius, where that is. If you don't know your chart, you can go on my website through the link in my profile. And on the homepage of my website is a place to get a beautiful chart, or you can go to astro.com and get your chart. Either way, you want to know where 12 degrees is in your chart, because it'll give you good information about where you are to set intentions. At every new moon, we're being asked to set intentions, and each house represents an area of life. When you know where this new moon's happening for you, you can set intention in that area, and it's super powerful. Thirdly, I have a free workshop coming up on January 30th. It's this Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is it's a feng shui vision boarding for the year. I've done this now. I think this is my third year, and every year something magical, mystical, and miraculous happens from making this vision board. I want to share it with you. I want to share how I do it, and yay, happy birthday. So if you're interested, click the link in my profile. There's a image of the workshop, like an image. You just click on that, and then you put your email in, and you're in. to the workshop. If you're already on my mailing list, you don't need to sign up. I'm going to be sending the email from my mailing list about this free workshop, Feng Shui Vision Boarding for 2022. It's going to be happening a couple days before the Lunar New Year, a day before the new moon in Aquarius, and it's going to be fun. So I'm going to show you different ways to bring your vision to your body, to your heart, so that you can manifest it. And we magnetize through our heart. It's really through our heart medicine. So we really want to be in that energy of our hearts to manifest our desires, right? So that's what that is. That's a free workshop. Just come join me. And then, not next month, in March, I'm doing Feminine Leadership, which is diving into your astrology and the archetypes of the feminine from myth and legend, from ancient wisdom, to activate your life and bring them on board so that you can be successful in 2022. This is the year of the feminine. Not only is the North Node in Taurus, which is very feminine, we also have, this is the year of the water tiger. And the water is feminine. The tiger is the fierce feminine. Got really excited, can you tell? So when we're talking about the fierce feminine, we need to understand and embody those archetypes for leadership. So that's going to be happening in March. I'll talk more about it in the free workshop, but that's an option of working in a group with me this spring. I also have one-on-one coaching options, so you can reach out about those. Okay, I'm going to read the card that I pulled for this Lunar New Year and this new moon in Aquarius. If you are just tapping into this video, go back to the beginning because I talked a lot about it already. Okay. So the card that I pulled is the Black Sun, which makes sense because it is a new moon. And in some ways, the new moon is the Black Sun. It's an initiation. The sun of initiation is not an obscure concept, but a living truth. It is the doorway into secret worlds. Have no doubt, Black Sun is sending a mystical light into your situation. The light can ignite the fires of the mind and spirit. It consumes the ego. I wanted to talk about that. Like, Aquarius is pretty good at being egoless, whereas Leo is very ego-focused. So it's really interesting that this comes up. It consumes the ego on the pyres of inner truth. Kick your puny ego down the street like a rusty old tin can because you don't need it anymore. Initiation begins when you become one, when you open your heart to creation and let the Great One work through you. Black Sun card awakens lost memory. Light from the Black Sun always gives us a simple answer to a complex question. Black Sun card challenges you to find the spiritual way. There is a longing on the human soul to find completion and an end to the terrible loneliness of being. This is very Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius shadow is isolation and what did I just say? Loneliness. So it's really important that this is coming up. Black Sun is the eye of the whirlpool of wonder, drawing you deep into the spiritual realms where the puzzle you have created can be understood. Once solved, it asks you to be decisive and self-reliant. And that last sentence is everything for this new moon. I'll say it again. Once solved, it asks you to be decisive and self-reliant. And this is the work that is so important for 2022. We have to trust ourselves, we have to be self-reliant, and we have to be decisive. And this is very much showing up with all the Capricorn, Saturn placements with this new moon.